Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Kind of disgusting, isn't it? Kind of disgusting, but at the end of the day, sounds about right. You know what's funny? I was gonna do like a Black excellence, like a Black appreciation content creator video, like soon, anyways, because I love my Black content creators. Okay, I feel like they don't get enough love, but I guess not. I guess talking about this. I mean, by now everybody's heard about the Corey situation, and honestly, he's 100% correct. But I don't think that people really understand what he's really trying to say, because I think people think that if you just come up and you just do this whole little, oh, we're just gonna get angry together, YouTube is gonna listen. Not really, no, We need to talk about it, because honestly, I don't think that people really understand what it means to be a Black creator on YouTube. I mean, don't look at me. I only have 117, so I can only really speak from the little experience that I have and the people that I watch, right? But it's musty, bro. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that people think that Black creators coming in and people complaining about the issues can change anything. But at the end of the day, not really, because there's not really a way to show and to prove that YouTube has taken what we're saying into consideration. So let's say YouTube does take into consideration what Corey says, and they say, you know what, we're gonna look into our policy team and people who make these claims, and we're gonna hold them accountable. We're gonna fire them. We're gonna replace them. Okay, cool. There's no way of us to know that. There's no way of us knowing that happened, right? You just gotta trust on the people on YouTube. But if there's one thing that people here all agree on, is that YouTube is not trustworthy. That is one thing that I think everybody, even 90% of the people who does anything to do with content creation would agree. But as an issue in general, YouTube issues in general actually, where they'll say there's an issue or this is a problem, and then they'll just kind of semi-address it, and then they just ignore it, and then people just forget about it. And the only thing that we get into the conclusion of this whole thing is that YouTube is kind of scummy, and YouTube is petty and trash. Not trash, like petty, right? And that's the only thing that comes out of it. It's just a negative emotion towards YouTube. But at the end of the day, they still get away with everything that they do. Now you may be wondering, okay, this kind of bitching. I mean, I am bitching, but okay, what you gonna do about it? Like, literally, what are you gonna do about it? Well, for me, there's not much I can do. I can make this video, spread the awareness, But as someone with my caliber of viewers and audience and whatever, no, I can't do anything. But I could give my suggestions into what we can do to make it better. I think we should hold people accountable, which is the most basic statement ever. But honestly though, it's really important. What I mean by that is that I don't understand why we don't have names. Okay, if you get hired into a company, literally retail, you have a name tag next to your name. When you go to university, you talk to a professor, you can see the professor's website with their name and email and phone number. Okay, do you get what I'm trying to say? You get what I'm trying to say, right? You can go to all these places and you can find a name and an associated person that does these things. But the way that Corey was talking about and the way that my videos get blocked or anything along those lines, you don't really know the person. You don't know who did it. You just assume that it's from a team of a section of YouTube, but you don't really know who the person who did it. So to me, it doesn't make sense that you can hire these people, the ones that no one knows, that just dictates huge part of your channels, and there's nothing you can do about it unless if you cry and moan and complain. And even then, you have to be at a certain amount of status for it to actually matter, because I'm pretty sure that if Corey only had 200 followers or 300 followers, no one would listen. In my opinion, I think you should really have a system in which you have the person's name or the team that's involved, the name of the people who is in the team who's involved in doing things who's involved in reviewing the video and making it age restricted or blocking it or striking it or whatever, or something along those lines, in which you can find that person's contact information and you can give them a name. I just want a name. I keep saying name like you guys aren't hearing me, but I want you to hear me specifically. I want a name or a phone number, and then or they should be a YouTube website in which this is funded by YouTube, a YouTube or YouTube database that's owned by YouTube, in which you can type in the person that's involved in making changes to your video without your consent, and you should be able to find them. Now, of course, my word doesn't mean anything, and I don't think it's really gonna make a difference at the end of the day. I just really wanted to get it out of my chest because um, I think people know that black creators or people of color, just in general, don't really get a lot of love and attention when it comes to YouTube, which is like, something that we all know, and we kind of like just like let it go by. Like we just kind of just oh, it's just a YouTube thing. Like obviously there's gonna be more white creators. Like what? Why? Obviously, like I don't understand. When it comes to really big black content creators, you've got like 3 people, bro. You got like 3 people, bro. You've got Kai, you've got KSI, you've got Corey. Those are like, and then you've got like those are like the juggernauts, right? And then you have like Caleb City, Long Beach, but you can count them like 10. Like obviously there's more than 10 big black content creators, but generally there's not that many to go with. And I'm pretty sure that 90% of them, when it comes to any sort of relationship with YouTube, like it is not dandelions and rainbows and butterflies and anything of the sorts. And I know people might be saying things like, oh man, they're so edgy, bro. Like sometimes they just don't follow YouTube policy. But even YouTube policy is really weird into what they accept and what they don't accept. Some creators will curse like a sailor and will do some semi-provocative stuff, or they'll do clear scams. And unless someone comes in and goes out of their way to tell them that this is really bad and this is really petty and this is really stupid, why did this get promoted? They'll keep getting away with it on the YouTube platform. However, there are some people in which they don't really say much. They just kind of like have half a video or half a second of like blood, like a finger cut or something, and they just get all video auto banned, auto age restricted. What? Does that sound familiar? Oh, like Corey. I mean, obviously it wasn't a finger cut, but still, getting age restricted for something that's like very, the other people get accepted for and he doesn't, is something that's very common. And what's crazy is I think that people really don't understand that when black creators are talking about getting like disrespected by YouTube, it's not even to this like level of like, oh, we need to get more diversity in YouTube, which we do. I mean, obviously we do, like 100%, like we do. But they're just talking about getting respected first. Like we taking it one step at a time. Like you just want to be able to make a video and being treated equally compared to somebody else. That's what Corey is really trying to say. Like he's not really trying to like do this whole revolutionary fight against YouTube and all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure. I'm speaking for him. Damn, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure he just wants to be treated fairly with his competitors. Like that's really all he's trying to say. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure all that's gonna happen from this situation is that people are really upset, and that's it. Like it just ends at anger. Like it just ends at disappointment, and YouTube is scummy. But at the end of the day, like there's nothing that really entices them to change any of their motive, because oh no, people are upset. The YouTube is like YouTube is not paying attention to the creators. They're really bad against black creators, right? Okay, cool. But when it comes down to the meetings and other people and sponsorships and advertisements and all that stuff when it comes to YouTube, okay, and they go on that meeting and they talk about YouTube algorithms and like why should we invest on YouTube and all that stuff, and they bring up the whole thing about Corey and the bad press about it that we see right now, they can just say in the meeting, you know, that was in the past. Like inside the YouTube company, we have reformed the team and we have made great strides in order to make sure that things like that never happen again. Okay, they can do all that pretty shit. Okay, they can just talk sweet in front of the camera and in front of everybody in the meeting. By the end of the day, you don't even know what they did to change any of it. They could have just done a little hush hush, don't do that again, okay, it's bad, don't do it again, okay, and that's it. You don't even know if the person that they hired is someone who isn't going to do the same thing, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to HR, people hire the same type of people. Also, what's very irritating is that you don't know what type of people they're gonna hire next. How do you know that the person that they hire isn't gonna do the same thing and treat black people unfairly and black creators unfairly when it comes to their content? And what I mean by that, like I said before, they're probably not gonna give names to the people who do any of this, because if someone is held accountable, when someone is held accountable to something, okay, and their name is put out there, okay, you cannot mess up anymore. Like, you have to do your job correctly, because if you don't do your job correctly, people are gonna know that you're the person that ruined this content creator's experience on YouTube, this black content creator on YouTube, since that's the topic we're talking about right now, and they're gonna be less likely to do something like that. Anyways, it's must in here, you know, it's must in here. Either way, I'm done talking. I was just gonna upload like Valorant videos, but I guess not now. I got motivated at like 8:35 p.m. With my horrible editing skills, I'll probably get this done in like an hour, because I'm lazy and I'm hungry and I didn't eat anything. Anyways, I'm talking way too much. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, probably a Valorant video.